Hey everybody! I haven't had a video out in a couple of weeks. I've been working on a couple of non-turning commissions and I am just about finished with them. I was very glad to have a chance to get back in the shop and do some turning. I haven't done a goblet or a captive ring yet, so I decided this would be a pretty quick and what I was hoping would be an easy project. I don't think that anything ever goes easy for me, but you know, what fun would it be if it were easy? Where's the challenge in that? This is a piece of walnut. It's been cut probably about a year. It's still a little bit wet. So first thing, I got to get rid of all of the bark and get it round. I have the super special self-adjusting Laguna tool rest. Chips get stuck down in the channel where it clamps and you got to blow them out with an air compressor to get it to lock again. It's not really particularly helpful. I've been having trouble with my Forstner bit spinning in both of my drill chucks. My keyed one is completely broken. I'm going to put an arrow up here in just a minute, right there. And you'll see that even though I set the Forstner bit to not bottom out in the chuck, when I pressed it up against the workpiece to make sure that my Morse taper was seated and wasn't spinning, it pushed the shank of the drill bit down into the chuck, so I'm afraid that it did probably bottom that out again. And I just touched up the surfaces with a diamond stone. I did actually do a little more hollowing on the cup of the goblet, but for whatever reason I must have deleted it when I was doing the editing, so we're just going to skip right to the next part. And don't tell the Beagle I used one of his new tennis balls. I don't have a steady rest, so this was a next best thing to add a little stability. This is a little longer piece than I'm used to working on. I went ahead and sanded the inside and some of the outside. My carbide tools are the simple wood turning tools, and after I sharpened the cutters, I've got a square one, a round one, and a diamond, a 55-degree diamond cutter. They work much better with the exception of the diamond. That thing has never worked right from the start. I'm not sure if it's possible to get a bad carbide or what, but that you'll see I try to use that later. So I've already stopped thinking about this in the right order, and I'm working on parting the ring off from the body, and I haven't shaped it yet. I didn't round the edges over or anything, so that's something I'm going to have to address a little bit later. This is just a homemade pyramid or point tool that I made out of a Phillips screwdriver. And since I don't have a captive ring tool and my carbide tool isn't cutting at all, I used this as my weapon of choice. Oh, come on! And so we're on to plan B. Let's see if I can get another ring a little further down here. And still, I didn't shape the ring before I cut it off. I'm really not sure what happened to the first one. It actually split in half when it came off the piece. I didn't get a catch, so I really am not sure what its problem was. I had just sharpened this cutter again before I tried to use it, and I had to push really hard just to make that groove, so something's not right. That's more better. I didn't really have a plan here for a design. I'm just kind of winging it as I go. I thought maybe a bead here would be nice. The top of the goblet reminds me very much of an egg cup, especially with the tennis ball sitting in it. There goes my tool rest again. So I decided that I would have a more pointed bead there. And I went ahead and sanded the top part and put some finish on it so that I could kind of be done with it. The thinner I make the stem, I figure that I need to not be working out at the end. So now I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to sand this thing. And I finally decided I better secure the ring because if it broke, I was going to be mad about it. So to do the inside, I just use carpet tape on that part of the stem, some 80 grit, and slow lathe speed. It's probably only turning about 200, 250 maybe. But I still can't get it all the way around to do the outside edges. Carpet tape to the rescue again. I knew there was no way that that would hold if I was going to try to cut it, so I just used 80 grit sandpaper and I'm trying to round the edges off just so it's not completely square. Get back on there. Close enough. I still don't really have a plan, but I think that I'm going to try to make another pointy bead down at the bottom. I like a little symmetry. There's my little zipper tool, as one of my viewers has dubbed it. That would be the zipper tool, which is really just a very small spindle gouge that I ground a very steep angle on, and I can use to get in the really tight bits. I got lucky there. I think I caught the very edge of the gouge on the bottom part of the goblet base, but it didn't chip it out. And here I am trying to do a planing cut with a skew, and I'm just afraid of it, so I gave up and decided I would just use sandpaper. Someday I'll learn how to use the skew. I put some denatured alcohol on it, clean some of the dust off and make sure I was happy with it. And sanding sealer, which is a 1 pound cut of shellac. I cut back the shellac with a gray steel wool pad, and I'm going to finish it with axe paste. This is the abrasive sanding paste. And then the polishing paste. Turn the speed up and buff the wax in. Now I got to get it parted off. Which actually went really smoothly. I couldn't really use the polishing paste on the ring, so I just did the ring and the bottom and the inside of the cup with the Howard's Feed and Wax. Well, today is New Year's Eve. We've almost made it to Happy New Year. My channel has really taken off the last several months, and I would like to thank each and every one of you for watching and commenting and subscribing. I really appreciate it. I'm having a blast doing this, and I'm so glad that y'all are coming along on this journey with me. Happy New Year. Y'all be safe out there.